Good day, grade 11 students. This is Sir Peter, your general mathematics teacher. So welcome again as we begin in an exciting journey into the world of patterns and sequence. And in this lesson, we are not just going to talk about numbers, but also with respect to nature, art, and everyday life. So this is lesson 2.1, sequences part 1 of your general mathematics subject. So the learning competencies involve our competency number 4, 5, and 6 under the DepEd course curriculum of general mathematics. For our learning, you should be able to, number 1, describe patterns by inspection, including patterns in nature and art. Number 2, you will determine the next term in the given pattern, including the Fibonacci sequence. And lastly, we will learn how to identify the next term of a given pattern and identify the rule of a given sequence. Let's proceed to activity number 1 entitled, And So Exploring Animal Life Cycles. Let's begin by observing this image, which talks about the life cycle of a butterfly. So you see different stages here. We have the eggs, caterpillar, pupa, and butterfly. So notice the clear sequence of each stages. Each one leads logically to the next one. To better understand this image, let's answer the following processing questions. Let's have number 1. What did you learn about the animal's life cycle by looking at the figure? Of course, you would see there the 4 stages of the life cycle of a butterfly. And it starts as an egg, right? Then it becomes a caterpillar. Of course, the next one, it will transform into a pupa and finally emerges as a butterfly. So this process shows how living things grow and change in a specific order. Number 2, how does the image presented or use sequencing words like first, next, then, and finally to help explain the life cycle? By using sequencing words, could show the correct order of each stage. For example, we say first, the butterfly lay eggs. Next, the egg hatches into a caterpillar. Then, the caterpillar becomes a pupa. And finally, it turns into a wonderful butterfly. So these words makes the step easier to follow and understand. Let's have the third processing question. How did using sequencing words help you understand the progression? So using sequencing words help us to see how each stage leads to the next in a logical order. It made the process clear and helped us remember the correct sequence of the changes in the butterfly's life cycle. Now, let us now proceed to activity number 2. Let's have the GenMath check-in skills. So observe the given sequences that I'm going to give you. And the question is, what are the next 3 terms of the given sequence? Now, let's try predicting the next numbers in this given sequence. Let's have the first one. 3, 6, 12, and then 24. What do you think are the next number? Very good. We have 48, 96, and then 192. Can you discover what is the rule that's being followed? So we'll skip for that one. Let's move now to the next type of sequence. We have 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, and 5. What do you think are the next number? If you got 8, 13, and 21, then you got it right. What do you think is the way of getting the next three items? Now, let's proceed to the next items. Let's have 1, 3. Did you get 15, 21, 28? What rule is being followed in these examples? So later, we will be answering those questions. But what is important is you were able to get the next three terms of the given sequence. So did you use pattern to think of the next terms? Now, let us proceed now to our activity number 3, which is 4 pics, 1 word. So I'll show to you four sets of images, and you try to think what do these images have in common. So yes, these pictures will show us different patterns. So let's have the first item. What do you think is the answer? Correct. So all of these are what? So these are animals. What about the next one? Are these animals, or what is common about these images? Very good. The correct answer is next. What is common among these images? Correct. So this talks about hearts. Let's have the next one. Did you get the word pattern? Then you got it right, because the answer is pattern. So just like we see in the images, we could actually see patterns in nature and art. So we also see pattern in numbers. And these patterns are what we call sequence. So these numbers that we actually see in mathematics are what we refer to as sequences. Just like how we imagine nature and art. All of those patterns requires a what you call the concept of a sequence. In mathematics, what is a sequence? So let's talk about the key terms and the definitions. So for the first one, so what is a sequence? So a sequence is a list of numbers arranged in a specific order following a rule. So an example of this is 3, 6, 12, 24, and so on. So the three dots here indicates an ellipsis, and it indicates continuity among the numbers. Now let's move on to the definition of a term in a sequence. So what is a term? A term is each number in a given sequence. Example, in the sequence 3, 6, 12, 24, and so on, each of the numbers 3, 6, 12, and 24 respectively are what we call the terms in the given sequence. What about a position? So a position is also referred to as the index. The place of the term in the sequence usually counted as the first term, the second term, and the third term, and so on. So how do we write a sequence in notation form? So a sub 1 is actually our first term, a sub 2 is our second term, a sub 3 is the third term, etc. And in general, our a sub n denotes the nth term of the sequence. Now, what is a pattern rule, or what we refer as the rule. So the rule is the instruction that tells us how the sequence progresses. So it is a description of how terms is formed or how they will change from one to the next. Example, in the sequence 2, 4, 6, and 8, we simply add 2 to get the next term. So that's the rule in the given sequence or pattern. Now let's talk about the Fibonacci sequence. Have you heard about this type of sequence? So the Fibonacci sequence is a special pattern where each term is the sum of the two previous terms. Example, 1, 1, and then the next number is 2 because we added the two previous terms, and then we add again 1 and 2, then we get the next term, which is 3. We add 2 and 3, then we get the next term, 5. We add 3 and 5, and we get the next term, 8. So in short, to get the next term here, we simply add the two previous terms, 8 and 13, and the next term will be 21. So the Fibonacci sequence is named after Leonardo Fibonacci. So he is a 13th century Italian mathematician. So sometimes the Fibonacci sequence is also referred to as the golden ratio. And it could be found in shells like the Nautilus shells um, of different sunflower, the hurricane, the one that we always experience, or the typhoon that we always experience in the Philippines, and even galaxies could form Fibonacci sequence. So that formation is what we call the golden ratio. And we usually consider it as one of the beauty of mathematics because we could see the Fibonacci sequence in patterns in nature. Now let's talk about the classifications of sequences based on the number of terms. So what's the difference between a finite versus an infinite sequence? So a finite sequence has an end. So there is a specific number of terms in that particular sequence. So you could count all the number of terms. And it stops at a certain point. For example, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So this sequence has a total of 5 terms. So our n is equal to 5. And the first term is 2, and it ends at 10. So our a sub 1 is 2, and our a sub 5 is 10, which is the last term of the given finite sequence. What about an infinite sequence? So it's the opposite of the finite sequence, and it has no end. It goes on forever, and it keeps following the same rule endlessly. So you can describe the rule, but you can't list down all the terms of the sequence. Let's have an example. We have 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and so on. So as you could see, this keeps doubling and never stops. And it is because of the mathematical notation, which is also what we call the ellipsis. So the ellipsis is a continuous three dots that will show us continuity in the given sequence. Now let's have practice problems for activity number 4. So let's practice identifying the next term and the rule of each. Let's give the next term of the given sequence and identify the rule. What do you think is the next number? Very good. The next number is 1. So what do you think is the rule in getting the next number? So the rule is we divide the previous term by 3 to get the next term. Do we have the same answer? Let's proceed to example number 2. Give the next term and identify the rule. So you should be able to draw this particular example. Observe, it seems to be a Fibonacci sequence. So, what do we do if it's a Fibonacci? Correct. So the answer is, so how did we get 10 circles? Each term is the sum of the two previous terms. So we add 4 and 6. That's why we got 10 circles as the next pattern. Let's move now to example number 3. 7, 14, 28, 56. I know you know this one. Very good. The answer is 112. So what is our rule? We multiply the previous term by 2 to get the next term. Now, let's move now to item number 4. 10, 21, 31. Does it seem familiar? Did you get 52 as the correct answer? If your answer is 52, then you are right. Again, this is an application the two terms before it. Let's have the 5th example. Look at the squares. Correct. So the answer is, so how are you going to draw it? 16 squares, right? So these are just the squares of the whole number. So you know the perfect square 1, 4, 9, and then the next number is 16. So the next one will be 25 squares. What about this one? 1/2, 1/4, 1/8. Very good. Did you get 1/16? Then you are right. So we multiply the previous term by 1/2 to get the next term. Or we simply divide by 2. So there's another possible answer that's dividing by 2 or maybe multiplying it by 1/2, the previous term, to get the next term. Let's have example number 7. 8, 27, 64. Earn these familiar numbers. So did you get 125 as the answer? Then you are right. So the next term is 125 because these are the perfect cubes of the whole number. So the cube of 2 is 8, the cube of 3 is 27, the cube of 64 is 125. I mean the cube of 4 is 64 and the cube of 5 is 125. Now, what about this one? I think this will be a difficult one. So to give you a hint, these are what you call triangular numbers. So a triangular number is a number that can be represented as dots or objects arranged in the shape of a triangle. So it is formed by adding consecutive natural numbers. Because if you use objects like the dots or circles and arrange them in rows, each row having one more than dot than the row above, and then it will form a triangle. So the numbers 3, 6, 10, and 15 are what we refer to as triangular numbers. But is the next triangular number that we could form by showing the rows of each circles that we have. Did you get 21 as the answer? Then you are right. Very good. So again, our rule that we have used here is the rule of triangular numbers. Now let's proceed to example number 9. We have 1 times 2, 2 times 3, 3 times 4. Of course, the pattern here is very obvious. So in this given pattern, the next number should be very good. It's 4 times 5. So in this pattern, each number is multiplied by a number by the one after it. So the next should be 4 times 5. So we use the consecutive number n plus 1. Let's have the last item, number 10. What should be the next number for 5, 10, 15, and 20? Of course, this is very easy. The next term is, 25, right? So why 25? And what is the rule? So the number increases by 5 for the next term. So for your assignment, let's have activity number 5. What is next? So you copy and answer on your GenMath notebook and answer the 10 items here. So for the first one, you have to determine what comes next in the given pattern. And letter B, you have to explain how did you able to get the next two terms of the given sequence. So try to figure out the reason on part B. So did you learn something for today? So today we explored patterns in life cycles, nature, and art, and these are connected to those of what we call or what we know as mathematical sequences. Understanding patterns help us predict, plan, and solve problems in the real world, from computer programming to biology to finance and in design. So remember that patterns are everywhere. So in the spiral of a sunflower, the architecture of the buildings, or the stock market trends, pattern guides us in our decision and reveal beauty. So in our next session, we'll dive deeper into the attributes of the different types of sequences and solve real world problems using them. So see you in lesson 2.1 sequence. So again, this is Sir Peter, your general mathematics teacher. Bye!